Hello, everybody. This is a undergraduate research project for our communications class. My name is Liam Foskett. Lyric, frankly, did a lot of this work. We both worked really hard on it and did a lot of research. This would be the PowerPoint. We're going to present it as content analysis of comedy movie characters. Our goal was to explore the portrayal of characters were films of the comedy genre and to draw conclusions to the film industry using our data that we pull from the films. Specifically, we focused on physical traits. So there were a number of variables, 20 different items that were measured within each, two main characters and two side characters. We used 20 different variables. What tended to happen would be physical traits stood out the most as patterns. So if you can see here, after completing the 10 comedy genre films, we compared the characters in each individual film based on the characteristics and compared them across all the films. We drew conclusions to that about the genre and the film industry as a whole. These are the films we used. All of the comedy genre, they range from rating quite a bit. Some are R, some are G, and their variety of times. Two supporting characters and two main characters. This is the method we used. We tracked all of these variables: age, height. We tended to use body type a lot, physical attractiveness, as you see here. We'll talk about later. For body sizes, we noticed a common theme here is that men often get a lot more freedom as far as how they're represented by actors in these movies. Here we see that as far as body sizes go, you can see the chart. Women tend to be much smaller built, whereas men had more freedom to reach towards like a size like 7, whereas women trended smaller. Here also, the mesomorph body type think of as average, whereas endo and ecto would be like taller and sort of shorter and wider. Again, most women fit the average body type as we perceive it, or it may or whether it may not be average. This is just sort of smaller and skinnier. And men, again, had more freedom. You also notice here there's a majority of men in these prominent roles. We see similar trends in characters with gender type and body size of like women were only placed within 5 through 7 of the physical attractiveness scale. We tried to focus on societal attitudes and what society considers attractive to rate these people on a scale of like 1 being least attractive, 7 being most attractive. Men had a wider range of physical attractiveness. Again, 3, 4, or 5. If not, it's trended towards the middle of attractiveness, whereas women consistently focused on 3 women on 5, 4 women on 6, 4 women on 7. These trend upwards. We're looking for pretty people here. Another point is that the variables we discussed before has been type of character. Male characters and generally main characters tend to have a higher physical attractiveness, whereas side characters tend to have more lower rated attractiveness, again by society's produced standards. 3.25 is the average there. Here we have an example. One of them is Jack Black. Jack Black is not traditionally attractive, whereas these two people on the right, Rob and Laura, High Fidelity, are very like traditionally attractive. There's also a level of distance we're putting between protagonists and antagonists. Their traits are almost usually opposite or very different from the main characters and the protagonists. So that creates distance between the protagonist and the villain, and also creates distance between the audience and the villain. Here's some more examples of that. It varies with a lot of these variables. And an important note here is that the diversity, we saw some diversity here. There's racial diversity at some points, but generally the main characters of these reflect people that look like this. We have a woman as an outlier here, but a lot of these people, this Hollywood writer understanding is white men who are generally don't fit male attractiveness standards, writing similar characters and casting similar roles. These are the screenplay writers for these roles. And these are the conclusions we drew. I'm running short on time. That would be it.